Hey, creative souls, writers, word witches, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm always happy that you're here. And this week, I will be doing something a little different. This is the first video in a series of 7 that I will be posting in recognition of Banned Books Week, which runs through from October 5th through October 11th, I believe. And I posted a list of 10 books that have been banned or challenged that may shock you on my blog earlier this morning. So you're welcome to head over there and take a look. And I will put the link to that in the description because there are 10 there and Banned Books Week is only 7 days long. I will be posting 7 of those. So how am I choosing the ones to highlight? Well, to be honest, it all depends on which ones come in from the library because I put them all on hold to have in advance. And sometimes it takes a while. So I will share those with you as they come in. I had several come in yesterday, so I think I may be almost set for the week. And then at the end of this week, I will be posting a longer blog that lists even more titles of books that have been banned or challenged over the course of history, as many as I can find. I can't do exhaustive research on this, but I will do some, and so I will make a longer list. Um, so I think this is an important conversation to have, especially right now. I think anytime it's important, but I think especially right now. So if you are a person who claims to be apolitical, if you don't like hearing about politics, I hope you will give thought to what it means to have books either challenged or banned. And I know it's easy to think, oh, that was another time, that doesn't happen anymore, but it happens all the time. And with the current political climate, I think we all have to be extra vigilant about knowing and maintaining our rights. And, our First Amendment protects, among other things, our freedom of speech. And honestly, if we lose that, we are fucked. And I think we all now, I don't think we're in a time where we can just solely depend on politicians to fight for us. I think we have to also do that ourselves. We have to use our voices right now. For those of you who don't know, I live in Portland, and our politicians, our state politicians, just got a temporary block to Trump's order to send in the National Guard to the ICE facility here because some of the media would have you believe that we are war torn is the term that's being used, and it's just a huge crock of bullshit. Um, I'm telling you, I'm going on about my life as it always is. And although I have been seeing and hearing the Black Hawk helicopter flying over my apartment complex, and it's all intimidation tactics, but that we are living in a time uh, where some people deem this to be okay, should, I think, really be concerning for us all. So I think whatever way makes you feel comfortable, I think we all need to be speaking up and asserting our right um, to use our voices and write whatever the hell we want. And I can pop off about it here on my YouTube channel. I can do the same on my blog or over on Substack and in my weekly newsletter to my subscribers. But these are different times than we've known before. And so I think it's important that we not forget it. Sorry, had to turn around. I'm in my daughter's backyard and I could hear crunching, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't a human that had gotten in the yard and was sneaking up behind me. So let's now focus on the first one that I wanted to talk about, and it is this one. Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451. So here's some details I found about it. It was published in 1953. It's a novel about a future, as I'm sure many of you know, where books are burned because they are not acceptable. by the powers that be. Bradbury is from, I did not know this, Waukegan, Illinois. And so this is just under 4 hours north of the tiny little cesspool of dysfunction where I spent the first 11 years of my life. And so I always like finding a fellow Illinoisan who went on to do something remarkable. And I think Bradbury's work is. And, I read the novel years ago. I went through a Bradbury phase, but I have no memory of it. It's very strange. And it's not a statement about the book, it's more about my failing brain and all the stuff that's been packed into it. So, I want to read all the books in the world, which is not possible. But I may revisit this one if I can fit it into my schedule with all the others I have sitting on my nightstand that need to be read. That this book was about burning books is ironic, right? That it was challenged and censored itself. It was never fully banned. And so here's some things that happened around this novel. In 1967, here's what happened. The publisher, which is Ballantine Books, they released an expurgated version. So this is a different version than the original that had certain words removed for high schools. All right, they called this the Bal High edition. Examples, get this, of what were removed were hell, damn, and abortion. Those are the words that were taken out. There could have been others, but all this is according to the University of Illinois Press. And so I guess in 1967, impressionable high school students could not be exposed to words like hell and damn and the concept of abortion. And granted, those were different times, but Jesus Christ Almighty, the things people get their bowels in an uproar over just fascinates me sometimes. And, 67, how old would I have been? I would have been 9 years old. And I already heard those words. And I don't think they damaged me in any way. So, according to a site called Reading and Writing Through Life, in addition to the removal of the above mentioned words, the publisher modified, get this, 75 passes. They made 75 passages, modified 75 passages and changed 2 scenes. The first one being the scene of a drunk man was changed to a scene of a sick man. Okay. The second scene changed from fluff being cleaned out of a navel. So apparently somebody's navel was being cleaned out. Lint was being cleaned out to cleaning out ears. I guess navels are just way too suggestive. And they did this to make the book less offensive to high school students, but I think more likely less offensive to high school parents. Possibly teachers, but probably more like parents. Reading and Writing Through Life says that Bradbury found out about the expurgation in 1979. They didn't even tell him they were doing this. And he found out about it when a friend of his showed him one of the copies. And so the story goes that he demanded that Ballantine replace this version with the original one. Okay, so that was in the late 60s. Then, and it got righted in the late 70s. So his novel had been sitting like that for about 10 years. And he didn't even know it. And so that publishers can take liberties like that, and they can. I'd say if you're going the traditional route to publish a book, really read the fine print in your contract and see if they can do something like this. And who knows, by now, maybe this is something that is dealt with out of hand. I don't know. But it's something to think about. Okay, then, from the 1990s to present day, the book's content has been challenged for some of the following reasons. For vulgarity, according to the Banned Books Project, and again for the obscenities. And more recently, still according to the Banned Books Project, this novel was challenged in Texas, of course, for going against religious beliefs because a Bible is banned and burned in the novel. And so people wanted to ban this book, Fahrenheit 451, for banning and burning the novel. Or the Bible, sorry. So Fahrenheit 451 bans and burns a novel, and so people in Texas wanted the novel banned for showing that as a possibility. And then also, again, Texas, they wanted it banned for dirty talk. Hell and damn. They say that despite these efforts, so this is the Banned Book Project, they say despite these efforts, any censorships didn't stick due to complaints by teachers and other parents who didn't have a stick up their ass. Okay? They didn't say that. That was my addition, that last part. So how fucking buttoned up can people be? Apparently a lot. According to the LA Times in 1992, students at a school in Irvine, California received expurgated copies with words blacked out, which brought complaints from parents. So, there are some parents in the world who just want their kids to be exposed to literature for what it is. According to Deep Forest Productions, in 1998, a parent in Mississippi, oh, the South, complained about the use of goddamn. So the superintendent removed the novel completely from a required reading list. Again, in 2007, according to Marshall University, the novel was challenged again for its religious and moral content, or maybe lack thereof, specifically by Conroe Independent School District for these reasons. And I think Conroe School District is in, guess where? Texas. For these reasons, discussion of being drunk because, oh my God, this never happens in the world. Smoking cigarettes, holy shit. Violence, it's everywhere. And if you've been paying attention to the news, where does a lot of this violence come from, especially when we look at school shootings and all of that? They come from the radical far right. All right. Conroe School District also wanted it banned for, again, dirty talk and these references to the Bible. And, I'm guessing not so good references. I mean, there was the earlier mention of the Bible being banned and burned, using God's name in vain, like, oh, those goddamn writers, right? The nerve. So the good news, though, is this. Teachers, librarians, and parents have often pushed back against attempts to ban or censor the book. And so this really highlights the importance of intellectual freedom. We all deserve this. We deserve to be able to express our own. We deserve to be able to access the intellectual thoughts and ideas of others so that we can make informed decisions. That's what living here in the US is supposed to be about. And so please, please, please do what you want. Do what you can to push against what's happening right now. Please don't be shy about it. Please don't rest on your laurels and think, oh, we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay if we all speak up and exercise the right that we have. All right? So I'll be back tomorrow with another. It will be a surprise. Another banned or challenge book and more information about it. So I hope you tune in again then. That's it for this video. As always, I send you mad writing mojo. Happy writing.